Hello, my name is Erica, and I'm the Dyslexic Trekkie. Before I get started, I'd like to welcome all the new subscribers. Your interest really helps out, and Ensign Bradbury has agreed that for every 100 subscribers, he'll let you all hear one of his kitten's logs. I like to do something special for both Mother's and Father's Day because both my parents have been big supporters in everything I do. The one complication is my dad isn't really a Star Trek fan. He's interested in Star Wars. So last year I used my Father's Day video to talk about the man who raised Luke Skywalker to adulthood. Today I will talk about his biological father. Now, I have some very strong feelings on what it means to be a parent, largely based on how I was raised. You have to show love and support while providing discipline to your child. A true parent isn't someone who a child has to fear for their safety. That being the case, I don't consider Darth Vader to be any kind of father. He's the man who got Luke and Leia's mother pregnant. I don't consider that to even be the bare minimum. Anyone who makes sperm can get someone pregnant. Being there and supporting a child makes them a father. No, instead, Darth Vader was the danger both Luke and Leia were hidden from. But he didn't start off that way. When we see Anakin as a child, he's a slave and the youngest racer known. There's a fun production reason why. Anakin was supposed to be older, but Jake Lloyd was too good to pass up, and he became the young Anakin. He portrayed a very angry child, which is understandable. He was a slave after all. Then he loses his mother and eventually his arm. I've seen it said that Anakin never really changes. His goals and his motivations never evolve with the situation. He's a fierce defender of his family as he sees it, and makes alliances based on that. The reason he joined the dark side is the reason he betrayed it in the end. I can't say I disagree with it, but it's done in retrospect. This is the issue with prequels. You either have to show the evolution of a character into who they're going to be, or say they were always like that. In production, making them vastly different from who they will become leads to the question of how they'd get there. Imagine if we learned Anakin was a giving child who would use any extra scraps he had to feed the hungry around him. The first question would be, okay, how'd he become a monster? That story would definitely be rich and tragic, but also every kind act would lead you wondering why. You'd know he would become the man who would use the Force to strangle people he was angry at. But always giving him this layer of darkness has another issue. He's a very young child. That much darkness in a very small child implies that evil is innate. He's not a psychopath. He's never portrayed like that in the prequels. He's made an angry person who wants to find the right way of doing things. When arguing with Padme about how the Senate takes so long to make choices, his solution is to have one person in charge who will make the correct decision. In his mind, the issue is how long discussions take and the time wasted making a decision. Fascism is faster, at least. The inherent dangers of such a system are lost on him for a more expedited way of doing things. This is the core of Anakin's nature. He wants fast and easy answers. He wants a solution. Not the right solution, just something he knows is correct. The consequences of that choice was to alienate his wife and to lose his children. But here's the part I always found interesting. Once he knew about Luke and he declared he was Luke's father, his motivation didn't change. It was only at the last moment to save Luke that he turned. Until then, he was okay with the consequences. His order for the sake of order was enough. I'll admit, I'm not a fan of last-minute redemption through death. I believe that all through our lives, we have the chance to make a better choice. When I talk about the deaths of the people who fight against my civil rights, I always say I can't mourn their loss, but I mourn the loss of a chance for them to find a better way. I don't think making that choice seconds before death is good enough, even if it's why you died. Being willing to die for redemption is never as good as living for it. I feel like it cheapens the real efforts of those who do spend their lives trying to make up for the wrong they've done. In the same vein, I don't like redeeming Darth Vader as a father for his sacrifice. Yes, it's a great moment, and I think it's a deeply moving one, but I don't think it's good enough. As with other franchises, it's just not enough to undo the harm. For the men who put forth the effort to be a father figure to children, even when they aren't kin, I think a higher standard is owed. My own father has 2 daughters, but he's been that figure to his grandchildren and countless students in his lifetime. That deserves more respect and far more recognition. Give me a story that shows a person stepping up to be the father needed in the moment. Should Anakin be among the ghosts at the end of Return of the Jedi? Well, yes. But I'll say there's another ghost missing. Uncle Owen. He wasn't perfect, but I believe a lot of who Luke became comes from how he was raised. So my view is a little less Anakin and a little more Uncle Owen. I'd like to wish everyone a very happy Father's Day. And to those who may not have a father or a father figure in your life, I hope you find joy in this day as well. And to my own dad, I'd like to say thank you. Your faith in me and my potential means more than you can know. Hello everyone. This is a very difficult thing to do. I had a funny outro I was going to do, as I did last year for my Father's Day video with Rey and Obi-Wan, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen this year. I want to thank everybody who's been interested in this channel, people who've commented in the last year and a half, and those who've liked and watched my videos. It means a lot to me. But in the last few months, I've noticed a dramatic downswing in views, and I'm putting a lot of effort in for no results. I think it's time for me to admit that this channel has not worked. I looked forward to the chance to make something that would entertain people and maybe help discuss mental health through a safe avenue for people who might otherwise not talk about it. But unfortunately, that's not really worked out. So this will be my last video for the Dyslexic Trekkie. Ensign Bradbury would like to say goodbye as well. Doing this has meant a lot to me. I'm only sorry I wasn't able to finish the Janeway Analyzed series. I'm going to keep my videos on here, so maybe who sees it will find some entertainment, perhaps. Thank you, everyone. My name is Erica, and I've been the Dyslexic Trekkie.